An ultra springy ride mixed with a high level of cushioning, the all-new Brooks Levitate is built to propel you through your daily training. As the newest model within the Brooks Energize Me lineup, this shoe features several new technologies that are aimed at creating high energy return and ultimate comfort. An all-new DNA Amp midsole delivers a responsive ride that helps propel you forward, while a seamless fit knit upper creates a soft and adaptable foot wrap. The shoe offers an 18mm forefoot, an 8mm heel-to-toe drop, and weighs in slightly on the heavier side at 11.3 ounces. So first up we have Will. Now you're more of a competitive distance athlete and have been running in the ASICS Cumulus for years. What were your thoughts on the Brooks Levitate?
For me, the most notable part about the Brooks Levitate was the springy underfoot feel. Even though it feels a little heavy in my hands, I don't notice that weight at all when I'm running. On most of my runs, I'm hitting somewhere between 6:30 and 7-minute miles, and at those paces, this shoe has a great ride. I've also tried dropping the pace on a few runs, and that underfoot spring is great for keeping my stride fluid. It's got a much faster feel than some of the other trainers that I use. I also tried wearing this shoe on a day when I wanted to run slow, and I found the bouncy underfoot a little jarring. When I want to run slow, I like a shoe with a little more give and a little softer heel-to-toe transition. As for the fit, I think that Brooks nailed this knit upper. I haven't worn a ton of shoes with knit uppers, but of those that I have, this one was easily the best. The fabric is soft, where some can be plasticky, and it holds my foot securely in place without creating pressure points. It's got enough room for my toes to display, but it doesn't feel sloppy. All in all, I think the Levitate performs really well as a daily training shoe.
Next up we have Julie. Now I know you're more of a trail specialist, but every once in a while we can spot you doing a training run on the roads. What were your thoughts on the Brooks Levitate?
Well, Connor, I was actually really impressed with the Levitate. I do tend to prefer a little bit more responsive feel in my shoe. So when I first put on the Levitate, I thought maybe it would feel a little bit soft, but as soon as I started running in it, I found I could easily pick up the pace or go more slowly, whichever way I felt, which is really how I tend to prefer doing my road runs anyway. The most notable thing to me about the Levitate though was definitely the fit. I love the way that it wrapped my heel and midfoot. I felt really secure. I frequently have to lace that extra eyelet because my heel is a little bit more narrow, but in the Levitate, I found that I didn't even have to do that. It was very comfortable and I still felt that my toes had plenty of wiggle room. All in all, I actually love the Levitate. My one downside on it is it felt a little bit heavy when I was running, but really that's a small price to pay for how good and peppy it felt underfoot.
Next up we have Elena. Now I know you've been a big fan of responsive daily trainers and have gotten quite a few miles in your Nike Zoom Fly. What were your thoughts on the Brooks Levitate?
I'm really loving the pick-me-up that the Levitate brings to my daily training. It's got incredible energy return, which makes my runs feel energetic even on days that I'm struggling to get out the door. The bouncy midsole and the arrow-shaped outsole design really create some great transitions. I feel like my stride turns over with a lot less effort than I'm used to in other daily trainers. That quick turnover makes it easy to maintain pace throughout my runs, even when I start to feel tired. Like you said, I do most of my runs in lightweight trainers, so I was a little skeptical about how the Levitate would fit into my lineup with its heavier weight. After testing it out, I was excited to see that it performed right up there with my shoes that weigh an ounce less. And while I think the knit upper is a great match for using the Levitate as a daily trainer, I almost found myself wishing for a little thinner material, just so I could really treat it like one of my tempo shoes. It didn't bother me for most of my runs though, and I thought the fact that I was looking for ways to turn it into my perfect tempo shoe just speaks to its awesome versatility.
I also had the chance to put in quite a few miles in the Brooks Levitate, and it quickly became a go-to shoe in my daily training lineup. I really enjoyed the highly responsive midsole and was impressed with the snappy feel as I went through my gait. There are several other companies that are currently offering that highly responsive midsole, but I found the DNA Amp really stood out because it offers a nice springy ride that also feels really smooth. I found myself mainly using the shoe during my daily training efforts, but I also found it had a nice cushion feel that felt great during my long runs up to about 18 miles. I was initially concerned with the 11.3 ounce weight, as I tend to run in something a little lighter, usually under 10 ounces or so, but the responsiveness made the weight a non-factor. Once you get the shoe on your foot and get in a nice rhythm, it offers a high rebound that offers a consistent cushioning from start to finish. While I'd probably use a lighter weight performance shoe for my tempo runs, I still had no issues picking up the pace and found myself dipping under 6-minute pace near the end of my long runs. For the runner seeking a highly responsive daily trainer that combines fantastic cushioning and comfort, look no further than the Brooks Levitate. For more information on this shoe and any others, be sure to check us out at runningwarehouse.com.